Good day, Scouts. My name's John Devanere. I volunteer with Troop 15 in Thailand, and I'm also a detective with the Vernon Police Department. Council asked me if I could talk to a couple of our K-9 officers for Scouts Best Friend Day. So our K-9 officers are police officers that have dogs as their partners. They work with them every day, and they perform a lot of essential roles. So luckily, our K-9 officers had a training day recently, and I was able to join them and watch as they train with their dogs. So we're going to watch Officer Sembersky and his K-9 Thor, and Officer Condon and his K-9 Tango, as they do some training and tell you what they do, and more importantly, what their dogs do. Hope you enjoy this, and scout on.
All right, so this is K-9 Thor. He's a 6-year-old Belgian Malinois and German Shepherd mix. He is very high energy, very high drive. Thor. Hey. Thor did 4 weeks of training in Pennsylvania for his basic school, and we have to do a minimum of 16 hours every month to maintain our certification. Thor. Benji. Oh boy. So we do minimum of 16 hours of training every month in patrol and tracking, articles, evidence, building searches, vehicle deployments, water deployments. We do training in narcotics, everything to keep his skills sharp so that when we need him out on the street, he's ready to go. When he's not at work, comes home with me, lives with the family, stays in the house. He's just like a member of the family. Thor very, very, very much likes his ball. He likes to work for his ball. That's like his paycheck. So as you or I, we go to work and we expect to get paid for our efforts. When Thor works, he expects to get paid with the ball. Oh boy. Thor's trained in Czech. He came from Slovakia, so he heard that language before. Realistically, you can train him in any language you want. You can train him in, some guys use English. It's not a very common thing. The main ones are Czech, Hungarian, German, Dutch. Those are some of the main ones, but you can train him in any language you want. He's trained in basic obedience, so he'll do sit and stay and down and heel and all of that kind of stuff. Thor. Hey. Pust. Brava. Hey. Thor. Genosse. Genosse. So stop. Leave it. Thor. Lendi. So stop. Leave it. Leave it. So Thor is also trained in hand signals. So if we go into an environment where it's not safe for us to make a lot of noise, we may have to be quiet because we don't want people knowing that we're there or how close we are. So Thor should be able to listen to just my hand signals and do what I want him to do. Our canines are trained for patrol and narcotics. So for patrol portion, they have obedience, they have tracking, they have evidence recovery, they'll do building searches, they'll do area searches, and handler protection and criminal apprehensions. For tracking, their main tool is their nose. So dogs have 220 million olfactory cells, whereas a human has roughly 5 million. So if you do the math, a dog has roughly 45 times greater sense of smell than a human. The reason that we use them for that is because they can smell things that are hours old that a human cannot smell. And they're going to use their nose to track down a person, to track down a piece of evidence or an article. Oh boy. And then they're going to lead us right to where we need to go. Oh boy. The reason we use German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois is mainly because of their energy and because of their loyalty. They're very, very loyal, very intelligent dogs, and they're also very high energy. As you can see, Thor is just circling me right now. He's got a lot of energy that he wants to work out, and all he wants to do is just get to work. Oh boy.
job, buddy. Good job.
So we use them for tracking. We use them for evidence recovery. If somebody were to drop a piece of evidence, such as a gun, a knife, piece of clothing, or something like that, Thor's going to use his nose. He's going to help us find it. If we need to use him for a building search, again, he's going to use his nose, and he's going to search the bottoms of the doors, he's going to search the seams of the doors, and he's going to pick up that recent human odor, and he's going to help us find this guy. One of the main reasons that we like to use dogs in that kind of situation is because it's safer. If someone's hiding from us, they could be armed, they could be dangerous. We don't want to put ourselves in a bad situation, whereas Thor may be able to find him a whole lot quicker, and then hopefully we can get this guy out without causing a problem. Thor. Oh boy.
For their training, the K-9 officers use other officers that wear protective suits or protective gear that shield their bodies from the dog's bite. You're going to hear some of the role players making noises like they're in pain. They're not actually in pain. The suits and the equipment they're using protect them from harm, but they make those noises and act like they're in pain, so the dog thinks it's doing its job.
Quiet. Shh. Shh. Vernon Police Department. Anyone outside the building, make yourself known now. I'll send my dog. You'll find out where to catch you. That guy, step out now. I'm gonna send my dog. He's gonna bite you. Step out now. Oh! Oh! Good boy. Oh! Oh! Good boy. Yes, a good boy. Oh! Oh! Good boy, Tango. Hold that bad guy.
We do handler protection, so Thor is trained to protect me. If somebody were to attack me, Thor is instantly going to go at that person. And obviously he's trained in criminal apprehensions too, so he will bite. He does have one street bite, he will do it. 100%. It's not something that we want to do, but again, if it keeps us safe, that's what we have to do. Right?
Yep.
Oh! The way Brian just spun around there. Get on the ground now! Oh! 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 I think we actually built an agility course in the backyard.
He had the combat boots on.
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Oh
I
boy!
just came out to get the paper.
Oh!
Nobody.
So we're going to do some narcotic searching. So Thor is trained for 4 odors. He's trained for heroin, cocaine, marijuana, and methamphetamine. He is a passive alert dog, so that basically means whenever he finds the source of narcotic odor, he's going to either sit or lay down or entirely lock up his body and just stare at that odor. There's 3 odors in here. Thor's going to be given his command. He's going to follow what's called a scent cone. Sometimes you'll see him weave back and forth, and all that means is that he has picked up narcotic odor. He's going to keep weaving back and forth until he finds the strongest point of it, and for him that usually indicates the source of the odor. We're going to reward him with a tug. He's going to get rewarded every time he finds an odor. He's going to get some verbal praise, basically tells him he's doing a good job and he's doing exactly what I want him to do. Then I'll get the toy back from him and we'll find another odor. Come on. So we're going to let Thor do his own search right now. We're going to let him work out where he wants to go. If he doesn't really find anything, then we're going to work on some detailing, which means I'm going to point Thor where I want him to search. So Thor had a nice change of behavior there. You could hear his breathing change. He takes a real nice deep breath in. Right now he's laid down. puts his nose right on that odor, right? That shows me he's got exactly where I want him to be. I should be able to keep walking around, keep making noise, stomping my feet. Thor should continue to stare right at that odor, waiting for his reward. Good boy. Good job, Bobby. Good boy. That's what Thor works for. That's his paycheck. He does his job. He expects to get paid. So now we're going to keep going. Brava. Take the toy back. We'll go to the next one. So what I mean by detailing is I'm going to tell Thor exactly where I want him to search. Good boy. Okay. Now, here. Good check. Here. There's a nice breathing change right there. His head is up. Now this hide is very high, which he can't get to. He can't put his nose directly on the hide, right? Because obviously he's not that tall. But him staring up, jumping up. Hide is actually up here. The odor is heavier than air, so the odor is going to drop down. So again, he's going to sit. He's going to show his passive alert. I should be able to stomp my feet, make all kinds of noise. Whatever, if he's still looking up high, that's where I want the reward to come from. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Thor is very, very, very much my partner. He's not just the work animal. He's very much part of my team. Some people may think he's just a tool, just another tool at our disposal to do what we need to do, but not to the handlers. The bond is incredibly strong between a handler and the dog. Thor has to do a minimum of 5 years of work to fulfill his contract. After that, he'll work for as long as he can do it safely. As long as he's not injured, as long as he's not in any kind of pain, he'll keep working because that's what he's happy doing. If he gets hurt or if he's old enough and we decide, hey, you know what, it's time to retire, then we'll just retire him. He comes home with me and he just becomes a pet and he can live out his retirement.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed learning something about police canines and the work that they do. I'd like to thank Officer Sembersky and his canine Thor, and Officer Condon and his canine Tango. It was a lot of fun watching them work. Hope you scouts are all doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and scout on.